Yes, this is Raptor money, but it's also better than the Raptor for several reasons. I'll include a link to the Ford and Provost website in the description down below. If you have any questions, just ask for John Jenks. Let's get right into it. Under the hood is a naturally aspirated 5-liter V8 that goes through a 10-speed. Fuel economy is 15 around town, 20 on the highway, with power outputs being 400 horsepower and then 410 pound-feet of torque. If you too want to be better than a Raptor in certain ways, make sure you subscribe. Now the Tremor comes with little hood vents there on either side. And even though this is the loaded up Tremor, you still have the same lights as the more baseline, which I think is interesting. Got the gold trim on the front end, but the bumper here on the fully loaded one is quite a bit different than the baseline. Gives us a much better approach angle, and it's not fancy and painted, which means this will last longer off-road. So the loaded up one definitely has more of a rugged off-road appearance, I would say. Tire wheel setup is 275 by 70 by 18. You've got a satin gray finish on the wheels and pretty good all-terrain tires. Tremor F-150 there on the side. You've got the off-road side steps. Twin tube shocks in the back. We also have leaf springs, and this does have a slightly wider track compared to a regular F-150 Tremor decal too. Now there is a bit of rake front to rear, so that is going to kind of change the overall stance of the truck. When it comes to key fob features, we've got the Ford logo there on the back. On the front face we have our lock, unlock, remote start, and then the drop down for the tailgate. Got an outlet in the bed, LED lights, and look at this, a Ford with bed liner. You almost never see this. This is very rare. Ruler here on the tailgate, and then it is power up too. And this one has the barn door function where it can open up that way. Not sure the utility on it, but it's a feature. You also have an upgraded bumper here in the back with the loaded up Tremor and spare tire underneath, of course. That's the exterior. Let's check out the interior now. More of that gold stitching there on the door panel, plenty of storage below, and then again you've got those side steps. Tremor there on the seat, and then it's perforated all down the center portion. There is storage underneath the seat too. Legroom back here is good. Got a little storage pocket. Cup holders, we have heated seats. We also have some USB ports, vents, full outlet. Headroom back here is good, and then the rear glass is power with the opening. Keyless entry for up front, and let's check it out. Blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. We also have our memory seat function here. The mirrors power fold in. You've got more of that nice stitching and soft touch. 1458 for the payload capacity on this truck. Tremor there, perforated all down the center. It's power adjustable with lumbar support. We've got our controls for the lights. You have your pedal adjustment to the left of the steering wheel, and this is equipped with auto stop start, sadly. More of that gold stitching around the center of the steering wheel, and then you've got the darker Ford logo there, which is cool. Controls for center stack. We also have our adaptive cruise control, volume, and voice command controls. Digital gauge cluster, which you can use to change the information that's displayed. It'll also give you a little run-through animation with the different drive modes. This has modes for both on-road, off-road use, towing. There's a heads-up display, soft touch all across the dash, and then you probably will note, it's hard to see because the screen's so bright, there's parking assistant off-road cruise. 360 camera system with the loaded up Tremor. And this has Ford's infotainment system that's quick to respond. I think it's a great unit. It has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto built in. Trailer brake controls down below. We have our four-wheel drive system. This has auto, high, and low, which is really nice. Rear diff lock too. Analog controls for the radio, also dual zone climate, heated ventilated seats, heated steering wheel. Phone charging pad with some USB ports, some cup holders, shifter there. You do have plus and minus, so you can shift the gears yourself. And then the workbench center console is also a big part of it. And then there is nice trim with the glove box there. Finally, 6 auxiliary switches up top. $79,845 for the MSRP. Let's see how the 5.0 fully loaded Tremor performs. So I'm pretty sure this has, double pane windows up front. Gotta love acoustic glass. Makes a pretty big difference. I just reviewed a baseline. I'll get a video of a 3.5. I'm actually currently planning to do a big powertrain comparison. I like to get that, with the different truck makers. So I'll be doing basically every single powertrain you can get in the F-150, which is just technically 5 when you, 6 when you include the Raptor powertrains, but it's mainly going to be at the standard F-150, so it'll be Power Boost, EcoBoost, 2.7 EcoBoost, and then 5.0 V8. So stay tuned for that. That'll come relatively, somewhat soon. I love the immediate response to the 5.0. Obviously the EcoBoost has a lot more torque, but what this lacks in torque, it makes up for in responsiveness and of course sound. And the 5.0 is one of the best sounding powertrains out there. And you know, the insulated glass actually helped because it's not insulated in the back, and so you kind of get quite a bit from the exhaust. You can still hear that pretty well, but then it's not too obnoxious for up front. Like, you don't get a lot of intake noise, or nearly as much intake noise with this, which I think is really, I don't know, I think it's cool overall. It's not too annoying for the noise characteristic. Okay, that person's crossing all the way. Sometimes it takes a while. There's lots of people going lots of different directions. Always got to be careful here. Listen to that. Man, sounds good. It's what a truck should sound like. Now, I read the comments, and I know this engine's not the same as the engine in the GT Mustang, and I'm with you guys. I wish it was. I wish that it was. But despite the fact that it's not the same, here's the deal. Here's the deal. Are you going to keep your truck for longer than the warranty? Be honest with yourself. Because although this engine's not perfect, it's not like they're blowing up left, right, and center, you know? So just turn off the auto stop start and enjoy the truck. Enjoy the V8 power. Enjoy the sound. That's what I think. But yeah, I do think that that's something that Ford could improve. And again, it seems like it's like a conspiracy with the automakers, with the American automakers, where they're all purposely making their V8s crappy so that we buy the turbo engines, you know? It's like, why is it that an engine that's very simplistic, that has been reliable for years, all of a sudden isn't all that reliable? Why is that? Huh? And why is it that your turbo engine's doing better? It's almost like you're trying to get us to buy the turbo engines. Because they are. They definitely are. So it's like they offer us a V8, but they do some shady stuff, it seems like. I don't know. Let me know you guys think about the 5.0 Tremor, fully loaded. It's obviously close to the Raptor in price, but something to note, you know, you'll be able to probably get some discounts on this, right? This week's giveaway is perfect for classic muscle car lovers because we have a CUDA and a Roadrunner. The CUDA produces 290 horsepower and has an automatic. The Roadrunner produces 390 horsepower and has a manual. Both of them are obviously powered by V8s. Now, this particular giveaway is going to be ending fairly soon on November 2nd. So if you want to get in now and get some extra bonus entries, just use code BHC or click the link in the description down below or the pinned comment. Any donation, $25 or more, will give you 4x bonus entries.